further delay, let me introduce our speaker. Our speaker, it was a former Launchpad member when he was looking for a job, and a great deal of fun. And I think he was also a Leap to Success volunteer, and has been, I think this is the second, at least the second time, maybe the third time he's come back to speak with us as a speaker. His name is Aurelien Mangano. He is a cross-cultural career coach. He reinvented himself in that way. He is also a leadership and communication and emotional intelligence certified coach. And he's going to be talking about from overwhelmed manager to in control job seeker. And I want you to, as you listen to this, as you go through the exercises and activities, he said this is going to be an interactive meeting. I want you to consider yourself. He's going to be talking about overwhelmed manager, and if you can't relate to that, keep in mind that looking for a job is your current job, and so you are a manager. You are managing your job search, and if it helps you to visualize yourself, because looking for a job is an overwhelming situation where there is so much to do, and you don't feel comfortable doing it because it's so different from your regular job. So it's not your comfort zone. There is a lot to do, and feeling overwhelmed and isolated is all part of this. So I don't know if that's going to be relevant to what Aurelien is going to be talking about, but perhaps. So at any rate, he said that he is going to be covering 5 key problems: understanding the overwhelmingness of your situation, shifting your mindset, prioritizing and delegating. All of these things are management functions, but I'm hoping going to be able to apply them to your own situation. Time management strategies, sign me up. We all need that. I have taught time management, but I can't seem to be able to walk the walk. I'm happy to hear about that. Communication and collaboration. And by the end of the presentation, participants will have gained valuable insights and practical tools to navigate the transition from overwhelmingness to in-control leader. You will be equipped with strategies to enhance your decision-making abilities, foster a productive work environment, and achieve a better work-life integration. He offers, I've told you what his titles are. He has a company called Develop Leaders. He offers bilingual French and English coaching and mentoring, specializing in cross-cultural career growth, leadership, emotional intelligence, and Ikigai discovery. And I hope that he will explain what that is all about. It looked fascinating. Aurelien is a very active member of Project Management Institute Houston, where he holds the role of Director of Program West and works on professional development projects such as Leadership Academy, which offers mentoring opportunities for its members. He is a certified cross-cultural career and executive coach, holds a PMP, PMI, PBA, PMI, ACP. I'm sure all of those letters will be explained to you in due time. Let's give a very warm virtual welcome to Aurelien Mangano.
Thank you, Katie. So I hope you are not overwhelmed by all this presentation, because it's a long presentation. Do you see my screen?
We do.
Okay, great. So my goal today is to have an interaction with you, helping you to be less overwhelmed. I was, in your case, like you, in the Launchpad Job Club about 3 years ago. I was international because it was the first time that I was looking for a job in the USA, and it was very different from what was in France, because you should recognize my French accent also. I will do my best to speak clearly. If you have any question or you don't understand what I'm telling, please feel free to speak in the chat. I will try to monitor the chat as much as I can. And let's start with what is an overwhelmed job seeker. How you see this person. It's a persona. I want you to tell me if you feel that you are an overwhelmed job seeker, perhaps, Feel free to unmute yourself or type on the chat. I will wait for a few seconds. If I have no response, I understood that the audience is not very interactive, and I will manage. Okay. You don't speak. It's okay. So, an overwhelmed job seeker is a person that will spend a lot of time just looking for a job. Probably it will spend more than 50 hours just looking for a job. He is always busy because he is always trying to find something. And you don't have a salary and you feel pressure to do so. So you are stressed, you want to send your different resume, you feel that you are always late when you apply, you don't feel a lot of success, so you think you need to spend even more time, and you don't really add any value in your resume or your application because you don't have time to update really yourself. So your stress is at the maximum. I put 85, probably it's higher. Your focus is very low because you are stressed and you don't focus on anything and you don't add any value. And I will go a little deeper in this area in my next slide, just to give you an idea of what will be the opposite. The person that is in control. The person in control is like this person. He's relaxed. He's focused. He finds high value job. And what I mean high value job, he knows what he wants. And I heard from the discussion a little before that there is people that look to do a transition. And it's a great thing that you want to do a transition. Because perhaps your value or your...
There's lots of text now in the chat about how people are feeling overwhelmed.
Okay. Okay. Yes, overwhelmed. Balance in 30 years. Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of people are overwhelmed. It's very overwhelming to do this job, and you want to pass in the other side, to be more close, to spend time with your family, relax, focus on the job that you are interested in, and being in control. And what I mean by this, stop applying to 100 jobs per day. This will not help you to find a job. Perhaps you will be contacted, but because your resume or your application will be too generic, your chance to be contacted is very low. It's better to tell, I will focus on a specific company or a specific job and focus and put your profile correctly to this before even starting to do so. If you send to 100 the company, you have a low chance to be contacted. Please focus on the 10 jobs per week. It's already a lot, 10 jobs per week if you do correctly your research and your application correctly, customizing your job application. And it is the lesson learned that I have from my personal experience. I was very stressed. I wanted to find a job as soon as possible. And what I was doing, applying everywhere. Then I took the class that is proposed by the ACC mid-August, I think you tell Katie, and it helped me a lot to improve in my way of applying. So please take this class if you didn't took it yet. It will help you to improve your branding and do a lot of good things to improve your application. So let's start now on the next slide. I try to look if I see any specific question. If somebody sees something that is important, please let me know. So the first step is to know where you are. That means, are you stressed? Are you somebody that is applying a lot to a lot of jobs? Are you just bored of just applying and you don't trust anymore that applying will work? sometimes you are really tired to apply. And you can take a week off just to rest from applying, reset your brain, and retry the next week. And perhaps it will be better than just staying, applying. Your brain needs really to be refreshed. You need to be always at your best as a job applicant. The next step is focus on what matters. And I put this very known schema that 20% of your effort will give 80% of the result. That means if you want to do something that makes sense, make your effort on something that makes sense. Focus on the job that you are interested, the companies that you are interested. Don't apply to all companies. Don't apply to everything. And probably because of the good communication that you have in this job launch club, you have already known that the most important effort that you have to do is networking. So spend most of your time on the networking. It is where you will find the most opportunity to find a job. Also, think what is your objective. You may be at your beginning of the career, but according to the videos that I see, a lot of you are in the middle to the end of their career. Perhaps you did all your life something that is very valuable to somebody else, and you are perhaps tired of just doing this job because you do all your life project manager, and you don't want to have always the pressure of the executive and be always complain on because you don't deliver on time, and it's not your fault, but project manager is one of the worst job you ever will have because you are always accountable for others' decisions most of the time. So if it is the case, perhaps you can share your knowledge and perhaps just change your career from doing the project management to share your experience as a project manager and being perhaps the PMO leader or something like this. Think about what you can bring to the table and where you are good at. And it is going in the Ikigai bucket. What is Ikigai is finding the ideal job that you will never quit. Like Katie, she find her perfect job. She will work all her life as a coach and helping people to find a job because for her, it's not an effort to do that. She's good at helping people. She's good at working with companies and networking. So all these things are important. Do what you love. Being paid, if you have a salary on the background, good, if you are the retirement, but if you don't have it, you look for a job and it is the case. Find a job that help you to be happy in your job and help people to find this. And it is important to create your strategic vision. For example, when I was looking for my job, I was looking for a project management opportunity. I was looking for all the companies, everywhere. I was really looking at everywhere. Then I tell what I really think would make sense. And I reduced the company to some companies that were French, actually, because I knew that I have an advantage compared to other Americans to speak French and English. It can be one of your strategic vision, telling, okay, I don't apply to all jobs. I focus on what makes sense. You have a specialty and you are somebody that is unique that the company is looking for. Just make sure that you show this in your application. The next step is making the priority. And it is a very important element. We always want to do a lot of things. We want to apply to all these jobs. what is the priority? Is it to apply and not have your LinkedIn up to date? To have a generic resume? I don't think. When you look for a job, you need to have everything perfect and showing your value for the specific job that you want to apply. So if you want to be a project manager or you want to be a designer, put all the success achievements that you have on your LinkedIn. Make sure that you find and use ChatGPT. What are the keywords that I should use in LinkedIn to just put my profile higher? Please try to use the technology that we have right now to help you to improve your profile. I heard very quickly when I was going off and on the conversation that there is a new tool with artificial intelligence that will build your resume for you. Use elements like this. Perhaps spending a little more time finding tools that will help you to do this will reduce your time to build your resume or your application in general. And define what is important and what is urgent. For me, what should be important and urgent all the time is networking. Please always network. And I will recommend that when you find a job, continue to network. You never know when you will need the people later. The networking is the priority one, because once you have the relationship, people will help you in your application to be viewed and find a job quicker. So put more exercise on this. And what is not urgent and not important is probably sending very generic application that will not be seen by anybody. You will spend time to just write this information, and if it is too generic, nobody will read it. So focus on what is important, that is making your profile specific to the job that you are looking for. Any questions so far? Okay, next slide. So this is time management. What I discover is that we put too many tasks in our daily. What I will recommend is to have only 3 tasks that you promise yourself that you will complete. For example, every morning when I wake up, I tell what are my objectives. And for today, it was making the presentation to the Launchpad Job Club, having more contact and improve my LinkedIn connections, and after write an article, because I write an article every week on my LinkedIn to try to help people either to improve their career, to find jobs. I mean, I speak about a lot of topics, and if you want to connect with me and you have some topics that you would like me to write on, please let me know. I will be very happy to share on this. But focus your work on 3 topics per day. It will help you to release the overwhelm, because you will not focus on everything, but only on these 3 tasks. If you can do more, great. But your achievement is to do 3 tasks that you put in your mind. And build a strategic plan. What I mean by this, you have a lot of things to do, and you need to put the different pieces together. To find a job, usually the first step is just to be seen. That means either network, either send a resume with the information that is needed for the job application. Once you are lucky, your resume is good enough, somebody will contact you, and it's usually the HR. You need to be ready to have the information of the job. Who is the company? Be ready to answer all these questions. Don't apply to a job and just forget about it. Follow on it. Make sure that you understand what is the company. So when the person contacts you, you are aware of the company, you are perhaps aware of what is the challenge that they try to solve with the position that they offer you, and you will have an advantage compared to others. Next step, usually if you pass the screening, you go to the first interview. First interview, try to learn about the person, connect with the people around this person, try to understand who he is, what he do, what is his role, what he's expecting. Try to have the maximum of information from the company and from your future employer. It is important to create your plan and how you will make all this research and how you will do it. As I tell you, 10 jobs applied, you need to do 10 research of the company, who is the person, making sure that everything is working correctly. I'm checking because I see some chat in it. No. And when you are ready with all your strategy, you can start to communicate. That means you need to be ready. I've made the preparation before even starting to do the communication. And because you will be making your strategy before, your communication will be easy. Easy, but complex in the same time. Because you will be prepared, but you will have to speak to different audience. It may be technical. A technical team can be speaking, if you are in IT, to a developer or to a person that is doing perhaps hardware or network. It can be for people that are in data analysis, speaking about machine learning, artificial intelligence. It can be also people that are in the design and work on the drawing, explaining what are the different type of architecture or elements like this. You need to prepare your vocabulary, because when you will speak to these people, you need to use their language. You have a different language for each person that you speak with. I heard that you have a recruiter in the audience. The audience, HR, is not knowing very deeply what is the technical area. They will have an idea of what are the keywords. Be aware that these keywords make the filter for you. So you need to know what are the keywords that you need to use to pass to the next step. It is very important that you know your job offer very well. You know what are the keywords, what is important for you to focus on. If you speak to an executive, you need to speak more strategically, not technically. What I mean by this, your language needs to be short sentence. You need to be very clear to what you are speaking and very direct to an executive. When you go to a technical team, it's the opposite. You need to be detailed, very technical, and you need to speak their language. The project team, depending which team you are, will be also a different type of a discussion. For me, I was a customer success manager, so I speak like a salesperson with some people, but I have also a connection with the technical people that are the developer and things like this. So I have a different language, and it is a very different language that I have to use. And after, stakeholders and sponsors can be people that are just looking at your job and that will finance your job, but they are not directly involved with your job. You need to understand what is the reason you are hired, what is the problem that they try to resolve, so you can position yourself accordingly. And what I mean by this is when you write your resume, you have to show your achievement that will align with the specific need of the team. And you need to cover a little of these different people to make sure that these people will read your resume and identify you as a potential candidate. And you need to adapt and adjust. Your role is to establish a common ground. You are interviewing, but they are interviewing you also. That means both sides need to agree on a contract. You are in a way claiming to have a job, but they need you as much as you need them. You need a salary, but they need the resource to solve the problem. So you are at the same level as them. Never feel down compared to the companies that will hire you. Feel confident. Your profile is good enough for them. If they contacted you, you are already past the first step of telling you are the good person. You just have to ensure them that you are better profile fit than your competitors. You need to develop a trust and engagement. What I mean is, once you finish your interview, don't forget to send a reminder of what you did, a thank you note, and tell what is the key achievement or key element that was discussed that could bring value to them. And please network with people from this job also. You are the person that will sell yourself and promote yourself. Nobody else will promote yourself, except if you network in advance, you will have somebody that can support you and promote yourself internally. And that's why networking is important. But you are the one that need to promote. So think about your different quality. What is your strength? What are your weaknesses? If you have any weakness, identify what they are and how you can use your strength to compensate perhaps your weakness. I will tell it's better to work on your strength than try to fix your weakness, because a person that works on his strength will be largely better using his energy than trying to fix his weakness. There is some weakness that need to be fixed, but most of your energy needs to be set up on your strength. It is why you are hired. You are not hired for your weakness. You are hired for your strengths. So think about how you can promote your strengths and how your strengths align with your job. You need to motivate and develop empathy with people. And it is, again, something that is related to the networking. It's very important, networking. And I try to emphasize multiple times on this because I didn't realize how important networking was. And create connection and follow. And the word the most important in create connection and follow is follow. If you connect with somebody and you don't follow, people will forget about you. So please follow, make sure that you send a thank you note, and few days after, perhaps what is the next step, try to see where they are in their decision. Then the last point is celebration. Once you succeed any step of the process, celebrate. What I mean is you send a resume that you think is perfect. You celebrate because you were able to send it. You were selected, you celebrate. You are to the next interview, you celebrate. You have a job offer, you celebrate, but you don't have always just one job offer. Try to have multiple. And it's probably what Katie will speak this afternoon about. It's good to have one offer. It's better to have two offers. So you can make always a competition between the company to increase your salary. But always think Your value is higher than you think. You can always ask more than what they offer you at the first offer. It is rejected, it's not a big deal, but at least you ask for more. Never accept always yes at the first offer. Try to work on your offer to always have better. Perhaps you are good with what they offer and it's a great thing, but if you want more, don't hesitate to ask a little more. It doesn't cost you anything. And in the worst case, if they reject totally your candidacy because you asked for more, probably it was not the right company for you. So don't be so sad of losing this job. The next one will be better. I will come back to the different steps of the process. First, be self-aware of where you are and what you are doing. Most of the people just navigate in view, just trying to do things as they think it should be, and they are not making a process, objective, or prioritization. It's important for you to put your objective, prioritization of each day, build a strategic plan and scope of work for every day to focus on something that makes sense and not overwhelm you. Don't start to communicate until everything is ready to communicate. Improve your LinkedIn, improve your resume, look for multiple job offers that could interest you and update your resume with the keywords that are in it. So it will be quicker later when you will apply to your job with something that makes more sense. Communicate according to the person that you are in face. That means if you speak with the HR, think what are the keywords that you need to use. You cannot use a word that is different of their thinking because they will not recognize this keyword and will tell, oh, you don't know about this specific skill. You need to have the keyword that they expect in the screening. The next step is connecting with the person as soon as possible. Your recruiter, look for the recruiter. Never connect with the HR person. The HR person is just collecting all the job. He will not take any decision except the filter. So please connect with the recruiter. He's a recruiter that will make the final decision. He is the one that you need to convince. It is where you need to put your energy, finding recruiters. And recruiter, I mean the person that will be your manager or that will hire you. And when you succeed, even small success, celebrate. It is important to celebrate because it will release your stress and it will make you feel that you did something successfully. And especially when you look for a job, it's very difficult to feel that something is moving. If you celebrate small steps, it will help you to celebrate big steps at the end. And I finish. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And I know that I speak pretty quickly. I had a lot of to cover. And if you have perhaps any question outside of what I tell, please let me know also. I will be happy to cover anything.
Aurelien, I love what you talked about and how you organized it. I've had several people say that they started a job search kind of willy-nilly. They were all over the place, just applying without a plan, without a schedule. And that when it was so haphazard, it was not successful. And when they finally created a schedule and a plan, for example, one of my people said that he started getting up at 6 every morning. He'd go out to the gym or do his 30 minutes, an hour of physical exercise, and then he'd come home, shower, have breakfast, start his job search, activities, very focused on the things he wanted to accomplish that day, but it was all scheduled. And with breaks and with when he reached his goals at the end of each day, he did something to reward himself. So there was the little celebration, those things. When you reach your goals, when you do your 3 priority activities, then give yourself permission to have fun, give yourself permission to watch TV or to read a book or to go for a walk or to do something with your family. But yes, the constant celebrations. We even had one girl who saw the sales thing that lots of you have heard about, where in sales, which of course all of you are in sales now, it's no, 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 no for a length of time, and then finally, yes, you make a sale. Finally, there's a yes, and that is also the structure of a job search. And she had a big poster with all these no's. And when she would lose a job, she would interview and they wouldn't hire her, they'd go with somebody else. She would come home and put a big X on a no and do a little happy dance, because she would say, I'm one step closer to getting my yes. What can I learn from this, this not getting hired, that I can apply to my next interview? And so putting a positive spin, having organization, rewarding yourself, having the goals, all of that is great information, really good advice.
Yeah. And to jump on what you tell, it is important also to monitor how successful you are at each step. So for example, if you succeed on a job later that is doing a screening, look what you put in the job later. What was the job offer that you did? How it is different from others? How it worked? Because if you understand what is the specific...
Aurelien, I don't know if it's my computer or your computer. Aurelien, you froze, so we missed what you just said.
Okay, can you hear me well now?
Yes, and you didn't freeze, Aurelien.
Okay.
Go ahead and continue.
Oh, it was just me. Okay, my bandwidth is low. All right.
No problem. Good. Okay. So what
we also have a question in the chat.
Yeah, and I saw it. I will reply to Ahmed just after.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I was telling is, when you succeed, capture what was the success. That means try to learn how you did differently to succeed. Is it because you use more specific words? Is it the format of your resume? Your resume can change at every application and need to change at every application because it needs to be specific to the job. But perhaps you have 2-3 templates that you want to try multiple templates. See, perhaps the different way of applying will work perhaps with 1 or 2, and you see that this template works better than another. Please reuse the template that works more. You need to capture every time what is a success. When you finish an interview, try to capture how you feel, what was happening. Is there any question that you remember that you reply perhaps well, or that you reply wrongly? If you reply wrongly, make a research to be able, next time we ask you the same question, to reply better. The success of your job application is on succeeding on your failure. That means learning from your failure to be better in the next time. And I know that it is very difficult, as Katie tells, to feel always the rejection as a salesperson that you are, as a job seeker, but you will succeed. There is a chance to be hired, and sooner than you think. You just need to continue and keep going. And that's why the Job Club is amazing, because you are helping each other to be motivated. So please continue to do so. On the Ahmed question. So what I do is, first, I identify the companies that I'm interested in. The companies that I was interested in were mainly French companies because I knew that I was speaking French. So it's a differentiation. For example, no, I'm looking for clients for coaching because I'm a coach and I want to make my life profitable. So I need new clients. What I'm doing, I'm looking for people that are in a certain group that look for something to grow their career. I'm not specialized, especially in the job research itself. I'm more on the transition people, helping people to find their ikigai. That is finding what you love, what you are good at, what align with your value, and what you can be paid from your job. So I'm working more on developing people than looking for the job. But I know also how to look for a job, and most of the time when you do a transition, you need to rebrand, and the branding is the center of what is a job research. You are a person that sells a product that you are, and you need to build the product and show what is the value. And what I mean is, if I read a profile on LinkedIn that tells, I am responsible for managing a team of 10 people and making the project deliver on time, it's not something that will differentiate you from another project manager. I want to see something as a recruiter that tells, I was able, thanks to my team, to develop and reduce the cost of the company by 10% or something like this. Achievement is essential. You need to show your differentiator and not something that everybody offers. So what was my reply is to look at people that fit your profile. That means what you want is to find a job in the design, so connect with people in the design area. Go to groups where they have the same interest as you. Share your expertise. The research is not only applying, it's also showing that you have some knowledge, so somebody will see, oh, this person has a knowledge in something, I may be interested in this specific skill, I will contact her or he later. Perhaps not right now, but perhaps along the way, you will find a job thanks to your sharing and being active on LinkedIn, on Indeed, and all the platforms that help you to find jobs. I try to read the comments. Another good way to get to your next job is to show up next week. Yes, this is
those are all logistical things for job club meetings.
Yeah. I try to see if there is anything else. Yeah. Okay, nothing else. If you have any other question, please feel free to do so. And if you
I do have a question, Aurelien. Yes. So when you're talking about changing your career,
yes.
That you may, I bet I'm freezing. You changed your career from project manager to leadership coach, career coach. And yes. So not only were you looking for a new job, but an entirely new career. That is a huge change. And tell us about the steps you made in making that decision to change your job and then gaining the credentials to qualify you in a new position.
So I will tell it's not that big a gap because I was aware of project management and I worked a lot in different area, departments of project management. I had the chance to be in automation studio. That means I was doing all the technology, robotic process automation, and business process management. And it gave me the opportunity to see all the different process of all the company. That means I was working with finance, I was working with procurement, I was working with HR, I was working with sales people. That means I have an idea of all the different processes that run a company. So thanks to this, I was aware of the different requests, issues that you have in the different process that helped me a lot. And when I started to do customer success management, project management, I discovered that I wanted to help people. It was also because I was looking for a job and I struggled as a French to find a job in USA compared to perhaps an American that have already the language that is totally fine and not issues with a green card or something like this because you are already American. So I thought, why not to share this with somebody and make people successful? And I will tell you, I think it's the most rewarding job in the world to be coach because you are always succeeding because you help people to make small success and they are always rewarding you for this. And project manager is more the opposite, is you do success, they never reward you most of the time for this, but if something goes wrong, people will always complain about you. So it was one of the reasons that I wanted to switch from the project management to coaching. And after I look at training to do coach, I do training on the ICF, that is the International Coaching Federation. That is about 6 months course. And you learn how to be a life coach. And after, I just learn because I'm a person that is always learning, always reading new elements to develop my skills in the different areas that I need to help people to grow their career.
I'm putting a question in the chat. Just a minute.
So for solo entrepreneur, I don't have really good tips because I'm doing it a little like you do your job research when you start. That means you try, you see how it goes, and you try to make your best of it. The element that is the most complex is to define your niche because, and it's actually a good analogy with the job research, is don't look for all jobs that you can apply for. Try to define what is your niche, where you are the best at, what you can bring to the table that will make you very good at. Don't apply to everything. I'm a life coach. That means I can do wellness, I can do career coaching, I can do organization development. I have also certification for executive coaching, but I can do a lot of things. But if people don't recognize themselves in the message that I tell, that means I can offer you everything, nobody will come to me. If I tell you I'm a career coach specialized in transition, if you are in transition, you will contact me because I'm a specific and I reply to your specific need. And cross-cultural is also something that is specific. Somebody that go from one culture to the other and try to find a job, they will recognize themselves in this specific area. If I tell you I do life coaching and I offer so many services that are very diverse, you will never recognize yourself in this specific profile and you will never contact me. And it's the same for your resume. More specific, more niche you are, better it is. For two things. First thing, if you are very specific and you reply really to the offer, you can ask for more money because you are the specialist in this specific domain. And people will contact you because you are the one that they need, the resource that is unique, that reply really to their needs. I hope this helped. And, I reply to Andrew. do you contact HR at your target company and coach people through HR? I rarely contact HR right now because I am not yet ACC. That means, the first level of certification, I'm certified ACC. That means I took a class, but I'm not accredited ICF, sorry. And these things should be validated by the end of the year to be ACC, but it takes some time. So I'm working on it. I need at least 100 hours of coaching to do so. And I'm at 73, I think, right now. So it's not yet validated this to go to the HR and be able to launch my HR career, because I need to have this credential to be validated by the HR and be able to run. So right now it's more one-on-one coaching, and I try to start group coaching because it costs less for the people and it's more profitable also having people that share their experience between each other. And emotional intelligence coaching, I had some specific people that worked on the emotional intelligence, but it's still a niche. And if you do the test, it's quite expensive. So people are reticent right now yet to do the emotional intelligence. But I think as an executive, it's one of the key elements that you can need, because you think a lot strategically, but you don't think how to act with people so much. And it is what is very important as an executive to do, is to pass the message correctly, that people work for you and not against you because you just order things to do. But it's more, I think, a level of development that will take over in more senior position in general. But right now, it's not going as fast as I want in emotional intelligence, to be true. But I didn't focus neither on it in my development of my company. Any other question, element, perhaps anything that I can help you, perhaps share my experience when I was looking for a job, perhaps you have a question, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I will give the microphone to Katie to close this session.
Anybody with a question, you can put it in the chat or you can unmute and ask it yourself.
Seems Andy has a hidden talent with his French. So there is a question in French for you, Aurelien, if you would like to.
Yeah, I replied to it. I cover it in French. I cover it and how I celebrate. So it's really depending on you. For me, if it is a small celebration, it's just clapping by your hand. And clapping your hand make you really happy. You don't realize how much you have something. I think there is endorphin just by clapping the hand. Clap your hand when you do something. It can be just, I go out tonight and I spend time with my family. It can be something very easy. You have not went for 2 weeks to take ice cream. Go to take the ice cream. It can be food. It can be going to see a movie, Barbie, for example. It's a very interesting movie, actually. I was really reticent to go to see it, and my wife said, oh, I want to see it. Everybody around me said it was a great movie. I said, okay, I will try to go. And actually, it's not that bad. I think it's even pretty good for compared to what I saw. Champagne, yeah, it can be a good one, but can be expensive also. Going to a park, yeah, going to a walk. I think it's one of the best things you can do when you look for a job. Go for a walk or for a run. There is things that, there is studies that tell that when you walk, you process better the different elements that you have in your mind. So if you want to prepare your interview or prepare for something. Don't stay home in front of your computer. Go for a walk. You already know who you are. You already know what are the answers. By going to work and think about your interview, how you want to prepare it and working, your brain will be more creative and make better answer at the end when you will be interviewed. So work is a very good way of improving your imagination, creativity, and improving also your mental health, because the mental health when you look for a job is not the best.